Which basically is us saying we're treating your central nervous system, i.e. your brain and your spinal cord. The premise being that we're trying to regulate the flow of your cerebral spinal fluid. Your craniosacral rhythm is the flow of your cerebral spinal fluid. So the idea goes that in the ventricles of the brain, kind of like two holes in the brain, as it were, two chambers in the brain. That's where the cerebral spinal fluid is made. And so it's kind of like a filling phase or an expansion phase, and it's like it trickles down around your spinal cord, so like an emptying phase. So if you can imagine, therefore, like there's changes in pressure, so like between the filling and the emptying. And so if you were to chop open like somebody's back, like you do, and you were to look at their spinal cord, you would see that it's moving up and down, anything up to about 8 to 10 times a minute, and that's the filling and emptying 8 to 10 times a minute.
Wow.
So it's another rhythm in the body, just like your breathing rhythm and your heart rate. It's just another rhythm, but it's so subtle. We can say it's a fascial release, so we're having an effect on your fascia by you lying on my hands. It creates a shear force up through the tissues. So we know that collagen, which is the strongest substance within fascia, because it's like, but it's also very strong collagen, and it's very gives a lot of structure and integrity.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of, I always describe it a bit like the princess and the pea. I'm the pea, you're the mattresses. I don't know who the princess is.
No one gets to be the princess.
No one gets to be the princess. But because my hands are under you, they create that shear force up, and therefore they can push up through some very deep tissues, which otherwise you'd have to really be going to town on someone to get to, you know?
Yeah.
And the nice thing is when you hold fascia under this shear force for, I think they saw it took about 2 minutes or so for the fascia to start to unwind and lengthen on its own, and it unwinds the opposite way in which it wound up. So it's basically an unraveling of tight tissue in the most effective, efficient way without having any discomfort, and it's generally quite relaxing and delightful.